And welcome, everybody. We're here live in Jacksonville. Just picking up the action kind of after a start. So we had a 35-minute drive out here to Jacksonville from St. John's, where we played the semifinal game. Taking on a familiar foe today, the FCA Blueclaws. Been playing this team since they were 5-star Hannah back at 8U. So know these guys pretty well. And the visiting team, the Roos, this game, as they're the lower seed, being a 3 seed, and FCA being the 1st seed. So, 2 quick outs for the Roos as Reese Brush and Ethan Futch both strike out to open up the game. Wilson Anderson, the 3-hitter, comes up and pokes one in between the first baseman and the second baseman for a base hit. So the Roos have a 2-out base runner here for number 3, Dylan Knight. Dylan Knight hits a fly ball to right. And the right fielder comes in and is able to grab it. Pretty stiff wind here with a short porch and left and right. Could be some home runs today if some kids can get them up in the air. But Blueclaws make quick work of the Roos in the first inning. Retiring 3 out of the first 4 as the Roos strand Wilson Anderson at first. We're heading to the bottom of the first. Catch you up a little bit. We are now located in Jacksonville, about a 35-minute ride north, almost northeast of where we were last game. Appears to be the home of the 5-star Tigers that we're playing at here in Greenland Park in Jacksonville. Game time temp 83, slight breeze, partly cloudy. Another beautiful night for baseball as we start this championship game. Once again, if you're just logging in, I know the link just went out. We had needed some time to set up the gear as we had to move fields. But the Roos retired 1-2-4 in the first inning as Wilson Anderson was able to get a 2-out hit, but nothing doing in the top of the first for the Roos. As Landon Serrano will take the hill for the Kangaroo Court here in the bottom of the first. Take a look at the defense. Brady Marshall is his battery mate behind the dish. Familiar guy back there for us. Owen Lever will start the game at first base. Danilo Soto will be at second. Reese Brush at short. Ethan Futch at third. Connor Bly out in left. Ricky Stegbauer in center and Dylan Knight in right. Good defense so far from the Roos in the first 6 games as the Roos win their 4 pool games, and then 2 games earlier today, the quarterfinal and semifinal game, so 6-0 record coming into the game. FCA Blueclaws also should be 6-0 coming into this game. And Jay Murray will lead it off for FCA, number 12. He's the center fielder. And the first pitch from Serrano is a fastball grounded towards short. Brush gets the big hop, makes a strong throw over to first, and gets to Speedy Murray for the first out of the inning for the Roos, and around the horn they go. Talked about it a couple of games ago. Roos doing a lot of things right, just the little things, like the catcher running down the line to back up the play there. Hitting cutoff men all weekend. A lot of good defensive things we've seen out of the Roos. Serrano's first pitch to Trip Hannah is a curveball for strike 1. Hannah swings through it. Serrano working out of the windup. Big, tall, lanky 6-footer. Throws a fastball. Catches the inside of the inside corner for a strike. And Hannah's in the hole, 0-2. 74 on the clock there. Serrano spins another curveball. Another good, tight curveball. Trip Hannah able to get a small piece of it. Stay alive, 0-2. We saw Owen Lever in the last game for the Roos touching 70. And Coach Rick Stegbauer elects to roll out his ace. Landon Serrano for the championship game, already hitting 74 here in the first inning. Fastball up, taken by Hannah. Serrano's able to dial it up a little bit for that super fast fastball when he needs it. Another fastball right back through the middle. Brushes over to get it. Makes a strong throw to first. And we got 2 away. 2 up, 2 down so far. Around the horn they go. And FCA wearing out the shortstop early here in the first inning. That'll bring on Tyler Ellis, the first baseman, number 17, hitting from the left side here for the Blueclaws. Curveball from Serrano down for ball one. We've seen good umpiring so far this weekend. Every game pretty consistent, good zones. Serrano winds and delivers. Fastball, Ellis a little behind. Fouls it off to the screen on the third base side. Again, Blueclaws are a familiar foe for the Roos. We've seen a lot of pitchers duels between Serrano and Ellis. Ellis not on the bump for this game, threw a few innings in the last game. Not sure if he's got any left for this championship game, but he is their ace, and looks like they used him in the semifinal game to take care of five-star Baker. So Serrano here for the Roos. Fastball. Ellis unable to catch up to it. Fouls it off towards the third base side. Two-two count to Tyler Ellis, the three-hitter for FCA Blueclaws. A lot of options here for Serrano. He looks in, gets a sign from Marshall. Fastball away, and Ellis swings through it. Good heater there on the outside from Landon Serrano, and the Blueclaws go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. Nothing after one. We'll be right back. You're watching Route 2 Baseball. Back here on Route 2 for the top of the second inning, Chris Reale, number 5, the Blueclaws pitcher, heads back to the rubber in his second inning of work, and first batter he'll face will be number 42, Nate Roldan for the Roos. First pitch, fastball, misses in the dirt. A lot of offensive firepower out of the Roos in the first 6 games. They haven't seen a pitcher like Reale to this point. Fastball down in the zone, chased by Roldan. Evens the count 1-1. Roldan hitting .325 on the season. Swings through a breaking ball there. It was down in the dirt. Chased that one. Roldan 25 hits on the season. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 24 RBIs. Putting up good offensive numbers once again. Nate Roldan, been with the Roos since 8U. Fastball from Reale, and Roldan reaches out, hits a one-hopper back to Reale, and he tosses over to first for the first out of the inning. If you're just joining us and missed the first inning, we were a little bit late setting up due to our relocation about 35 minutes from our previous park. Wilson Anderson had a 2-out base hit, but Reale was able to get Brush and Futch swinging before recording the third out on the 4-hitter, Dylan Knight. And Reale's dialed in. Good command of the fastball, has a tight spinning curveball. Good, tall, athletic build on the mound. Fastball right down the middle, and Danilo Soto takes it for a strike. Soto hitting .324 on the season. 6 doubles, 21 RBIs. Playing second base today, Danilo Soto, number 24. Fastball down. Real just misses at the bottom of just below the zone. 2-2, even count here to Danilo Soto. Real delivers, breaking ball, down and out. And that'll load up the count, 3-2. Soto reaches out and hits a weak one over to first base. Tyler Ellis is able to take care of it for the second out of the inning. And these Roos hitters are trying to gear up for the fastball, but getting fooled on a lot of curveballs and just kind of reaching out and hitting some weak ground balls. Need to pay attention in the on-deck circle to the release point and try to get them timed up. That'll bring on number 99, Landon Serrano, the pitcher for the Roos. Serrano hitting .421 on the year. Serrano wearing number 99. Big, tall, athletic build. Got the flow coming out the back of the helmet, much like his twin brother from another mother, Brady Marshall. Not really brothers, just hair brothers, if you could say. Serrano using the CF Zen, green and white, the rocket launcher bat. Lots of kids in the 12U age group use, and 13U. Here's the pitch from Reale. Hit it off the end of the bat. Squibber down to first. Tyler Ellis picks it up for the third out. So after an inning and a half, we're still scoreless. You're watching Route 2 Baseball. We'll be right back. Just about ready to get back to the action here as Landon Serrano finishes his warm-up tosses. Brady Marshall throws one down to second from the knees, right on the bag. And we're set to start here in the bottom of the second inning. Blueclaws will lead off with their four-hitter, number 33, Graham Johnson, playing third base for the Blueclaws today. And Serrano toes the rubber and he's set to go. Fastball swung on. Hit softly in the air out towards shortstop. Nothing Reese Brush can't handle. Around the horn they go. And it appears Landon Serrano may have gotten sniped on the mound. Big, tall, lanky drink of water out there. Maybe got tangled up in his knees and elbows. 6'1". Serrano stands on the rubber. Lots of knees, elbows, and hair flying at you when he's coming towards the plate. Curveball blocked nicely by Brady Marshall. Good practice there by Brady Marshall, just blocking baseballs, keeping them off the umpire. Nobody on base, but love to see the guys working hard back there. Catching's been great this weekend out of all the Roos. Brady Marshall, Ethan Futch, Nate Roldan mixed in a little bit. I think Ricky Stegbauer even may have gotten an inning, so good job handling the pitchers this weekend by all the catchers. So Chris Real is the batter, the 5-hitter. He's the pitcher for the Blueclaws. Swings on a curveball. Fouls it back here to the screen right in front of us in the booth. Chris Real, tall, athletic build. Wears number 5. Guess you would say he's the number 2 in the pitching rotation for the Blueclaws behind Tyler Ellis. Big lefty. Big fastball from Serrano. Just misses the outside corner. Hit the mitt. Usually get that pitch right there, but 2-2 count to Chris Real. Fastball misses down and away from Serrano. Full count to Chris Real. I think Serrano really wanted the pitch before that. Maybe getting in his own head a little bit here. Trying to be too fine against Real. Three-two pitch on its way. Curveball, he chases it. It's blocked nicely by Brady Marshall. He's up off his feet. Makes a throw to first, and he's got him. Tough breaking ball there to block by Brady Marshall as it bounced just before the plate, and those are always the toughest ones to bounce because you don't know if they're going to stay down or bounce up over your head. But Brady Marshall doing a great job blocking that ball, quickly getting to his feet and throwing out the speedy Real at first. That'll bring on number 10, J.J. Madison, second baseman for the Blueclaws, hitting in the 6-hole. Fastball from Serrano, evens the count 1-1. Serrano with a little grunt on that last fastball. Digging deep for a little extra. Good tight curveball there, but bounced, and Madison able to hold off and keep the swing in check. 2 balls and 1 strike. Brady Marshall again with another block there on the breaking ball in the dirt. Fastball from Serrano is hit sharply to short. Reese Brush has it and over to first. And the Roos and Serrano are able to retire the Blueclaws 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second. As we head to the third, still 0-0. You're watching Root 2 Baseball. To the action here in Jacksonville, Florida. FCA Blueclaws and Kangaroo Court Roos in the championship game of the Perfect Game Tournament. And Connor Bly, number 84, steps in against Chris Real. Real with a good fastball right down the middle for strike one. Another fastball from Real. And takes it for a ball. Connor Bly hitting .405 on the season. 30 hits, 5 doubles, 4 triples, 2 homers, and 25 RBIs. Puts a swing on it, hits a chopper down towards third. Third baseman has a little trouble handling it. And we'll see how they score it. Tough hop over there on the hard concrete-like clay. They'll see if they score it a hit or an error. And it sounds like our official scorekeeper's scoring that a hit. So Connor Bly's on for a leadoff hit, and that'll bring on Owen Lever, big right-handed hitter for the Roos. Lever hitting .338 on the year. 6 doubles or 3 home runs and 20 RBIs. And he hits this one far and deep to left field, just inside the foul pole for his home run. And the Roos take a 2-0 lead on yet another bomb from Owen Lever. And it's tough to see from my vantage point when that ball went out there, but it appears to kind of have hugged just inside that left foul pole. Nice, good, tall foul poles here for the umpire to make a judgment call on those home runs. And that ball stayed just inside the foul pole as Lever goes deep to give the Roos a 2-0 lead. With the wind blowing slightly out to left and a short fence, you better believe with these two power-hitting teams, that's not going to be the only runs that we score in this game, despite the fact that we have 2 aces on the mound. As Mateo Dalmau steps to the plate, number 21, to face Chris Real. Fastball up, chased by Dalmau. He swings through it for strike one. We talked about it before. We have 2 familiar teams that have played a bunch quite often in championship games. As you see, Dalmau swing through another fastball. He's in the hole 0-2. Not uncommon for these 2 teams to meet in the championship of a tournament late on a Sunday. And typically both teams are able to usually get through early bracket play and still have an ace or 2 available. And that's what we're seeing here today. Real fastball foul tipped and squeezed by the catcher. Rogers able to hold on to that ball and secure the strikeout. That'll bring up the catcher, number 62, Brady Marshall. Marshall steps in. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Marshall hitting .421 on the year. 32 hits, 6 doubles, 17 RBIs. 18 runs scored. Left-handed hitting catcher for the Roos. Fastball hit sharply down the left field line. Just inside the bag, past the third baseman. He's going to round first hard, but the left fielder is able to corral the ball quickly, and he stays at first with a base hit. And the Roos will courtesy run for their catcher, Brady Marshall, with Mateo Dalmau, who is the last batted out. So with 1 out here in the top of the third, Roos have a base runner for Ricky Stegbauer. Tricky Ricky, 35, Stegbauer. Swings at the first fastball he sees and fouls it back to the screen. He's in the hole 0-1. So good fastballs from Chris Real, but he's let a couple leak up in the zone, and the Roos have been able to get a couple barrels on him. Owen Lever going deep to left for a home run to give the Roos a 2-0 lead, and then Brady Marshall finds a barrel down the left field line for a single. And Ricky Stegbauer steps in with 1 out here in the top of the third. And Mateo Dalmau takes off for second on that pitch, and it's completely out of the zone, way over the catcher's head. Another hit and run there by Coach Stegbauer, and Ricky didn't swing at it, and it's good that he didn't because it was way out of the zone. 1-1 to Stegbauer. Fastball in. Misses, 2-1 count to Ricky. Again, very good umpiring all weekend up here in Jacksonville, St. Augustine area. Stegbauer takes another one. And Rogers can't handle it on the inside part of the plate. On the inside, almost hits Stegbauer and hits off Rogers' glove to the backstop, and Dalmau is able to move up to second. Call that a wild pitch, as that was a tough one to catch. Even though it hit its glove, I'm not sure that was a pass ball. I'd go wild pitch on that one. So 1 down with a guy on third. Roos looking to add to their 2-0 lead here with Ricky Stegbauer. Swing and a miss through a fastball. Moves the count to 3-2, and you can hear the Roos coaches yelling, move the baseball, put it in play, score the run here. And he hits a ground ball back to the pitcher. And it was headed towards shortstop, but Real made a very athletic play. Nice to come off the mound and grab that. And Dalmau had to stay at third. Should that ball get past the pitcher, he probably could have scored on that ground ball that was headed towards Tripp Hanover at short. But 2 outs now for Reese Brush. Looking for a 2-out RBI right here with a guy on third. Brush struck out in the first inning. Takes the first pitch down for a ball. Reese Brush out of Apollo Beach. Multi-sport athlete, plays football for the East Bay Bucks. Takes a fastball up, 2-0 count to Reese Brush. Brush has also dabbled in some other sports, played a little soccer, basketball, likes to play hockey as well. Never officially played for a nice hockey team, but certainly could, as he's a great athlete. And takes a fastball down for ball 3. So 3-0 count. Coach Stegbauer, so far this weekend, has been given green lights on 3-0, so we'll see if Brush gets a 3-0 green light here. Fastball right down the middle, taken all the way. 3-1 count to Reese Brush. Here we go, Reese. That ball's down. Another good fastball from Chris Real, but down, missing the zone. And the Roos have something cooking here with 2 outs in first and third. That'll bring on number 2, Ethan Futch. Futch, another multi-sport athlete here for the Roos. Plays football in the fall. Mixes in a little baseball while he's playing football. And then spring, summer, he's fully dedicated to the Kangaroo Court Roos. Catcher, third baseman, pitcher, can play the outfield. A lot of tools. And this well-rounded athlete, Ethan Futch. And the Roos put on the first and third pick play. Extended lead. And here comes Dalmau to the plate. And the Blueclaws are able to execute the first and third defense pretty well. As soon as Dalmau broke for the plate, the Blueclaws make a good throw to the catcher and get Dalmau in plenty of time. So while the Roos had a first and third opportunity with 2 outs here in the top of the third, squandered by the first and third trickery as the Blueclaws are able to defend it. So after 2.5, the Roos lead 2-0. You're listening and watching RooTube. We'll be back. action here at Greenland Park, Jacksonville, Florida. As the Roos taking on the Blueclaws. Sarando delivers the first pitch and takes a bad hop on Reese Brush over at short. Ball was down and then hit the lip of the grass, or the first bounce in the clay, and bounced up near his head, and Brush unable to handle it. As Nick Bowden is a leadoff base runner for the Blueclaws. And that'll bring on the catcher, number 27, Rogers. Apologize, I don't have his first name yet. So Serrano comes set. Fastball to Rogers. Fouled off over towards the third base side. So trailing 2-0. The Blueclaws have a leadoff base runner looking to get to Serrano here in the bottom of the third. And he checks over to first. Bowden dives back. Center fielder Nick Bowden at first base after a base hit to lead off the third. Hunter Rogers at the plate, the catcher again for the Blueclaws. Runner goes, ball's hit in the air towards right field, and Dylan Knight over to catch it. Little hit and run action going there by the Blueclaws, and the ball hit high enough in the air that Bowden had time to scamper back to first without a throw, prevent the double up on the fly ball hit and run. That'll bring on number 23, John Harvey, the right fielder for the Blueclaws. One out here in the bottom of the third. Serrano checks over. And Bowden just gets back, dove, and got stuck in the clay, and I'm not sure he was going to make it back to the bag, but just gets his fingertips in there ahead of the tag from Owen Lever. So the 9-hitter, John Harvey, steps in here for the Blueclaws. Another pick move over to first from Serrano, trying to keep him close, give Brady Marshall a chance to throw him out should he run. Bowden, the center fielder, I imagine he has got decent speed, being the commander-in-chief out there in the outfield. We'll see if he tries to run on Marshall. Serrano again checks over, trying to wear him out. Comes set. And the old traditional hold there by Serrano before going back over to first. Nick Bowden's parents are going to have some laundry to do, as that front of that uniform is pretty dirty after diving back several times. Serrano sticks his foot in the hole again here. And comes set, ready to deliver. Bowden takes off. Marshall fields the ball. It's a high throw, and it's on the other shortstop side of the bag, so no chance to get Bowden. He's got good wheels and a decent jump, so despite the slide step from Serrano, on these 70-foot bags at 12U, it's going to be tough to get runners. We have seen some of the Roos catchers throw some guys out. Ethan Futch, Brady, throw some guys out this weekend, but tough to get the speedy Bowden center fielder. Good fastball there from Serrano, catches the inside corner to John Harvey. Count even at 1-1. And another good fastball from Serrano on the inside part of the plate. And a 1-2 count. And some discussion over here over the count. Sounds like we're going to stay at 1-2. Umpire confirms 1-2 count to John Harvey, the 9-hitter for the FCA Blueclaws. Bowden leads off second. Serrano checks and delivers. And Harvey hits a hard ball into between the first baseman and second baseman. Gets by Dylan Knight in right field. And Harvey's going to get a single and advance up to second on the error there. On a hard line drive, ground ball into right field. We got a 2-1 ball game now as Bowden was able to come around from second and score for the Blueclaws. One out here in the bottom of the third. Back to the top of the order for the FCA Blueclaws. Curveball from Serrano for strike one. Josh Murray, the the left fielder, stands in for the Blueclaws. 2-1 game, bottom of the third. Runner takes off for third, and Murray takes a big old hack to left, and that ball's out of here. Fastball up in the zone from Serrano, and Murray tagged it to left for a 2-run homer, and the Blueclaws take a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the third. And as we said when Owen Lever hit his home run, doubted that would be the last of the scoring action we saw out of these two teams, despite having two good pitchers on the mound, playing on a small field, short porch, 200-foot, maybe just a hair bigger than 200-foot fields with two good power-hitting teams. And Serrano throws a curveball at Trip Hanna that breaks and just misses the inner half. Hanna bailed, but it just missed being a strike there. And Coach Stegbauer is going to come out and talk to Serrano. Most likely talking about just getting his head right after giving up that long home run to Murray. Serrano, very gifted with size, arm ability, and great hair as well, but would say that if there's one thing he probably needs to work on is just maintaining the composure on the mound when things don't go right. And I'm sure that's what Coach Stegbauer's just giving him a little pep talk to, hey, it's not the end of the game. We're all still in the middle of the third inning, or bottom of the third inning here. Plenty of time. 3-2 ball game. Just make your pitches and get back in and hit. So 1-0 to Hanna. Trip Hanna, the shortstop for the Blueclaws. Takes another curveball for a ball. 2-0 to Trip Hanna. Trip Hanna, another guy that's been around on this Blueclaws team since they were 8. Long dreadlocked hair, recognized. And Serrano slips on that fastball and buries it, and Brady Marshall blocks it, but it didn't look like it felt too good for either guy. Marshall, again, doing a good job keeping the ball off the umpire. We saw Ethan Futch doing that a lot last game, keeping the ball off the umpire, doing their job. 3-0 to Hanna, and Hanna hits ball out towards second base, just over the head of second baseman into right center field. Ricky Stegbauer cuts it off. And the Blueclaws continue their rally here as Trip Hanna gets a base hit to right with one out in the bottom of the third. 3 runs in already for the Blueclaws. That'll bring on the big left-handed hitting Tyler Ellis, the first baseman for the Blueclaws. Curveball from Serrano, misses down and away. Tyler Ellis hitting in the 3-hole. Puts a swing on a ball, hits it out towards left field. In comes Connor Bly and makes the play on a fly ball to short left. They had Ellis, they were playing Ellis deep as he's got a ton of power. But Connor Bly able to recover and come in and catch that ball in the air for the second out of the inning. So Hanna remains at first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. As number 33, Johnson steps to the plate. Grant Johnson, third baseman for the Blueclaws. Hits with 2 outs here in the third. And a fastball in from Serrano. Trip Hanna at first. We'll see if the Blueclaws Try to get something going on the bases here with 2 outs and get Hannah into scoring position. And a foul ball right here in front of the booth. Brady Marshall jogs over to grab it. One count to Grant Johnson. Serrano in his 3rd inning of work. Soft curveball from Serrano. He's got the ability to slow it down a little bit, and that was a soft one. Catches Johnson out in front for a 1-2 count now. 1-2 to Grant Johnson. Hannah leads off first. He goes to second, and another curveball from Serrano. Another curveball from Serrano that's dropped by Brady Marshall. He picks it up and throws it down to first for the drop 3rd strike in the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the Blueclaws put 3 up on the board and take the lead. 3-2 over the Kangaroo Court Roos here in the championship game of the Perfect Game Tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. You're watching RooTube on YouTube, and we'll be right back. And to the top of the 4th we head. The Roos coming to bat. Number 2, Ethan Futch leading it off for the Roos. Futch was at bat when the Roos tried some 1st and 3rd trickery, but the Blueclaws defense able to get the runner at the plate. And the first pitch is a fastball from Chris Real, and it's laced to left center field by Ethan Futch for a leadoff single. So as we talked before, 2 big aces on the mound here for Kangaroo Court and FCA. But 2 powerful hitting teams with some wind blowing out on a small field. I don't imagine this game's going to end 3-2. Wilson Anderson steps to the plate and takes a fastball. Caught the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. Chris Real in his 4th inning of work. Good command of the fastball and curveball thus far. Made 1 bad pitch to Owen Lever and gave up a long home run. Delivers a fastball, and Wilson Anderson hits it softly out towards short. And Trip Hannah makes a nice play coming in to get Anderson at first. Futch moves over to second on the hit and run. Futch was off with the pitch, and another hit and run we saw out of Coach Stegbauer there. But unfortunately, Anderson hit to the shortstop instead of the second baseman. And a nice play by Trip Hannah to come get it and throw him out at first. That'll bring on Dylan Knight with Ethan Futch at second base and 1 out. And Dylan takes the first pitch up and in for ball 1. Dylan swinging a hot bat coming into this like a bunch of the other Roos. Another fastball up and out of the zone. Ball 2. Good hitters count here, come 2-0. Not unfamiliar to see these 2 teams in a championship game. They've been going at it this way since they were 8 years old. Cruising through bracket play, both teams earlier today, and meeting now in the championship. Dylan Knight at the plate. Swings on a fastball and hits it hard into the right center gap. And it hits off the screen above the fence, but that's a home run as it's over the orange barrier, and that ball got out of here in a hurry. Hard line drive to right center field. Hits about 3 or 4 feet up above the orange marker out there in right center field, and the Roos regain the lead 4-3 here in the 4th inning. And that ball was hit so hard I couldn't even describe it to you before it had hit the screen. So Dylan Knight gives the Kangaroo Court Roos the lead 4-2 here in the 4th on a scorched line drive to right center that leaves the yard in a hurry. Small 210-foot field maybe here we're playing on. And Chris Real comes right back to the fastball and is fouled off to the right side by Nate Roldan. Just as we suspected, this game was not going to end 2-0, 3-2. More offensive firepower out of the Roos here. Curveball from Chris Real, fouled back to the screen by Roldan. Roldan 0 for 1 on the day. And Real with a good fastball just missed the outside corner there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nate Roldan. Real delivers. Curveball down in the dirt. Blocked by Rogers, keeping it off the umpire. We've seen the catchers doing a great job today on both sides, protecting the blue. 2-2, even count to Nate Roldan. Another curveball, and Roldan goes with it and hits it just over the outstretched Tyler Ellis at first for a base hit to right field. And a nice piece of hitting there by Nate Roldan with 2 strikes. Sees that curveball breaking out over the plate, and he just goes with it. And little base knock out there to right field for Nate Roldan. Nice piece of hitting there. That'll bring up Danilo Soto 0 for 1 on the day. Another hit and run going here by the Roos as Nate was taken off from first. And Danilo Soto hits a fly ball but fouled down the right field line. Oh and 1 count to Danilo Soto. Hit and run attempt there. We'll see if Coach Rick Stegbauer puts it on again with Nate at first. Not a lot of speed in these two guys. They don't run terribly bad, but good guys to hit and run with to avoid the double play. Soto, another good swing at a fastball, fails it back to the screen, but he's in the hole 0-2. Good crowd here for the championship game. Both teams well traveled. Used to being here late on a Sunday. Unfortunate for the Kangaroo Court that they got a 4-hour drive home. Soto stays alive on the 0-2 count with another foul ball. Clipping Rogers and going back to the screen. Home game of sorts here for the FCA Blueclaws being in Jacksonville. The Roos, very familiar to travel. Chris Real in his 4th inning of work. Curveball, and Soto reaches out and hits a weak pop-up to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. Chris Real, 4 runs so far, 3 of them earned on 6 hits. He's walked 1 and struck out 3 in 3.2 innings of work. So with 2 outs and a man on first, Landon Serrano will step to the plate. Serrano's 0 for 1 on the day. Big, tall, lanky, right-handed hitter takes a fastball for strike 1 from Chris Real. Real also good velo on the fastball, upper 60s, 68, 69. Probably touching 70, 71 every now and again. Throws over to first. Ball skips away from Nate. And he's going to try to get to second. Tyler Ellis quickly on it, but he throws the ball into left field. Ellis did a nice job recovering, trying to get to the ball, but then perhaps a little bit too quick with the throw and threw it into left field. The left fielder was right there to back it up. So Nate Roldan moves up to second base. And with 2 outs, the Roos have a runner in scoring position here with Serrano at the plate. And Jim Bohanna, head coach of the FCA Blueclaws, is going to go out and talk to his infield about the situation going on here. 4-3 lead for the Roos. But again, plenty of offensive firepower on both of these teams, even despite the Roos having their ace Landon Serrano on the mound and the FCA Blueclaws with Chris Real on the mound. So Serrano steps in. We're ready to go with the pitch from Real. Fastball catches the outside corner for a strike. And Serrano wishing he had that fastball back as he's in the hole 0-2 with 2 outs here in the 4th. And he swings at a fastball that's well over the catcher's head. And so the ball goes over the catcher's head, bounces off the screen, back to Real in the field of play. But Serrano hustles out of the box after swinging at a bad pitch, and he's aboard safely on a drop third strike. It wasn't really a drop, as Rogers didn't have much chance to catch that, as it was well over his head. But Serrano hustling down the line, able to beat the throw from Real. And the Roos, once again with 2 outs, have first and third, and Connor Bly coming to the plate. Big Country's 0 for 1 on the day. He's got a run scored. Looking to add to the Roos 4-3 lead. Big Country, as he's known by friends and family. Haven't seen the old Big Country go deep lately. In a 200-foot field here. He tends to eat these for lunch. We'll see if he's able to connect with a fastball from Real. Younger brother of Thomas Bly, member of the 14U Roos and top-tier Roos. Takes a strike. Serrano steals second. The ball gets away from Trip Hanna at short. And Nate Roldan's able to score on a slightly errant throw from catcher Rogers. Wasn't a terribly bad throw, just to the second base side, and Hanna had a little bit of trouble. Trip Hanna a little bit of trouble handling it, and the ball skipped away from him, and Nate Roldan able to score, add to the Roos lead. Connor Bly takes a fastball away. 2-0 count to Connor Bly. Strong right-handed hitting. Power hitter for the Roos. And he takes a fastball away, 3-0. So Landon Serrano in scoring position already at second base. And a 3-0 count to Big Country. We'll see if Coach Stegbauer dials up a green light here for Connor Bly and lets it eat. And it looked like he was ready to swing, but he lays off a fastball a little up, but catches the top part of the zone. 3-1 count to Connor Bly. Serrano leads off second. And Bly swings and hits a ball out towards right center. Softly hit, second baseman going back, spins around a little bit, but he's able to recover and make the catch for the third out of the inning. But not before the Roos tack on 3 and regain the lead 5-3 over the FCA Blueclaws here in the middle of the 4th. You're watching RooTube Baseball on YouTube. We'll be right back. Just about ready to get back to the action here in Greenland Park in Jacksonville, Florida, as Landon Serrano heads out for his fourth inning of work, checking the line score on him so far. 3 runs, all of which are earned. On 4 hits through 3. He's got 3 strikeouts. And the second time through the order here for the FCA Blueclaws, with Chris Real leading it off for the Blueclaws. Real, the pitcher, right now for the Blueclaws, right-handed hitter, stands in. Serrano starts him with a curveball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Brady Marshall, but Real chased it, and he's in the hole 0-1. Another curveball from Serrano, and Real swings through it. So thus far, Real has had Serrano's number, and Serrano has had Real's number, as he's in a hole 0-2. And a fastball up just under his hands for ball 1. And it looks like Serrano dialed it up a little bit on that fastball. We'll see what he comes back here with the 1-2 count. Goes back to the curveball, but Real able to hold off. Brady Marshall catches it off the bare arm again. And he might need an ice bath heading home after this game. Brady Marshall, again, doing a good job keeping the ball off the umpire. That's what we like to see out of our catchers. 2-2 count to Real. Another curveball. Real swings at it. It's blocked nicely by Brady Marshall. Throws it down to first. And another strikeout for Serrano. And Real and Serrano continue to battle it out against each other from the mound and at the plate. 2 strikeouts over Real for Serrano. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. And Serrano has that tight, hard curveball that he throws and tends to bounce it a lot, especially with 2 strikes, to try to get guys to chase it. And the Roos catchers all weekend have done a good job of blocking those curveballs from Serrano. We saw Futch block a bunch of them yesterday when Serrano had a little bit of action. And then today with Serrano's start, Brady Marshall doing a nice job back there. And number 10 stands in. J.J. Madison Madison, tough to read on the card here, but I think it's Madison. J.J. Madison standing in. 3-0 count to Madison, as Serrano is missed with 3 fastballs to start the at-bat. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. 5-3 lead for the Roos. Fastball down the middle for strike 1. Taken all the way from Madison. And another fastball catches the top of the zone for strike 2. Madison knew it, and now he's ready to go 3-2. Full count to J.J. Madison. Fastball down in the zone, swung on. Picked up by Connor Bly on a big hop. And a throw across the diamond. And it looked like he had him, but the umpire calls him safe after Jimbo Hanna flashes the safe sign and may have talked the umpire into one there. Bang, bang play. Looked out from the booth here, but obviously the umpire's got a much better angle down there at first base.
He's out.
The guys in the replay booth are saying he's out, but unfortunately at the 12U level, we can't go to the replay. So 1 out base runner for the Blueclaws. And Nick Bowden steps in. Curveball from Serrano for strike 1. Certainly a bang-bang play there at first. Again, good umpiring all weekend from these guys. And we have the power of instant replay here on RooTube to show that he was out by half a step but tough to call it in live. So the Blueclaws have a one-out base runner. And he heads to second. It's a curveball, which Marshall has to wait back on. Tries to make a throw, but safe at second. And a stolen base by Madison. Runner in scoring position for the FCA Blueclaws.
Nice pitch.
Nick Bowden at the plate. Lays off the curveball, just misses outside for Landon Serrano. 1-2 the count to Nick Bowden. Athletic, left-handed hitting. Blueclaw hits a chopper back. Serrano fields it. Looks at the runner who was halfway to third and wisely goes over to first for the out. A 6-foot Serrano goes to the top of the mound to catch that ball. Could have been a tough play for the shortstop had our pitcher, Landon Serrano, not been 6 foot and able to get a glove on that. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. That'll bring on number 27, the catcher, Rogers. Hunter Rogers at the plate. Fastball from Serrano, hit well to right field. In the air and over the head of Wilson Anderson for an opposite field home run by Hunter Rogers. And we have a tie ball game here in Jacksonville. And when you have pitchers like Serrano and Real out there throwing the ball in the upper 60s, low 70s, you're going to see some guys that when they get the barrel on the ball, it's going to travel. And I think that was a little bit of what happened right there for Rogers. Ball was out over the plate, but he managed to get the barrel to it and poked it over the right field wall for a 2-run homer to tie the game. So a 2-out, 2-run homer by Hunter Rogers evens the score at 5 here in the fourth. That'll bring on the 9-hitter, number 23, Harvey, the right fielder. John Harvey at the plate for the Blueclaws. And a strike from Serrano. Good hard fastball in the inner half for a strike. And Harvey finds himself in the hole 0-2 with 2 outs here in the fourth. Another fastball from Serrano down. Little grunt from Serrano, possibly digging a little deeper for that fastball, 0-2. But Harvey lays off, and it's 1-2. Curveball blocked again by Brady Marshall right out in front of the plate. Harvey able to lay off of it, and the count even at 2-2. And somebody threw the home run ball back into Wilson Anderson in right field, so he calls timeout. Rolls it into the umpire. 2-2 count to John Harvey. Serrano winds and delivers. Fastball up and in. That'll load up the count, 3-2. Serrano at 62 pitches here in the fourth. Fastball in the dirt. And after Serrano gets ahead 0-2 to the 9-hitter Harvey, can't seem to figure out how to get the third one on him. And 2-out walk by John Harvey. And the Blueclaws looking to keep it going here in the bottom of the fourth. Wilson Anderson's going to come in from right field and head to the bullpen for the Roos. Dylan Knight takes his place out in right. So Harvey's at first with 2 outs, and the Blueclaws back to the top, and Josh Murray. And a curveball hits Murray either in the hands for the shoulder. And Coach Stegbauer is going to come out and talk to Lando. And it looks like he's going to make a change. So Landon Serrano gives up the home run to tie the game at 5, and then struggles a bit with the next 2 hitters, and Coach Stegbauer is going to go to the bullpen. He'll bring on number 5, Wilson Anderson, to pitch to the 2-hitter, Trip Hanna, the shortstop for the Blueclaws, after he gets loose. Anderson came on in relief yesterday, was able to get the Roos out of a jam. Coach Stegbauer going to him here with runners in first and second, hoping to get out of this jam. Just running through the defense again so you know where everybody's at while we have a minute. Brady Marshall behind the dish, Mateo Dalmau at first, Danilo Soto at second, Reese Brush at short. Connor Bly over at third. Looks like Ethan Futch out there in left, Ricky Stegbauer in center, and Dylan Knight now in right as Wilson Anderson has come on to pitch for the Roos. Great time to be a Roo. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Long-time Roo and top-tier Roo, Jackson Miller, drafted number 65 on Wednesday by the Cincinnati Reds. Congratulations to Jackson. He's put in a ton of work over the years to make the dream come true. And getting drafted out of J.W. Mitchell High School by the Reds with the 65th pick. Best of luck to you, Jackson, in the major leagues. Hopefully it's a quick trip through the minors, and we'll see you in the bigs. And we're going to return to action here. Trip Hanna at the plate. Wilson Anderson on to pitch for the Roos. Fastball's in the dirt. They have him picked off second. Brady Marshall throws behind him. But the runner had gone too far off and just attempted to go to third and was safely able to reach third. It had a nice head first slide into third base. So now the Blueclaws have first and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Strong throw from Marshall. We saw Futch in the last game pick a guy off at second. Another strong throw from a Roos catcher. But the Blueclaw able to move up to the third on the play. Hanna swings through it. And Murray heads on down to second. Second and third now. 2 guys in running and scoring position for Trip Hanna of the FCA Blueclaws. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Willie Anderson on the mound for the Roos in relief of Landon Serrano. Fastball out of the zone. Checking the count, 2-1 count to Trip Hanna. Hanna looking to give the Blueclaws a lead here with a 2-out hit. Anderson fastball, high chopper over towards first and second. And the ball makes it out to Dylan Knight in right field. Dalmau didn't think he could get it. And Soto unable to get to it. So a base hit for Trip Hanna, RBI single to right. Murray has to hold at third with a strong-armed Knight in right field. First and third again for the Blueclaws as Coach Stegbauer calls out the first and third call to his catcher, who now relays it to the team. And the 3-hitter, Tyler Ellis, will step in for the Blueclaws, who now lead 6-5 in the championship game of the Perfect Game tournament up here in Jacksonville. Willie Anderson, fastball in the outer half for strike 1. Foul tip into the mid of B-Monster Brady Marshall. Tyler Ellis, standing tall, left from the left side. Anderson will check Trip Hanna over at first. And you got to be careful in the 70-foot fields thrown over to first like that, because the guy on second, if he's got a big lead, could break for the plate. And in a tight 6-5 game, wouldn't be surprised if Coach Hanna puts that play on for the Blueclaws. Another check over to first. First and third, 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. Tyler Ellis, 0 for 2 on the day, stands in with an 0-1 count. What? And so the Roos elect to throw through on that steal play. As Tripp Hanna steals second. Brady Marshall throws through to second, and Murray breaks from third and easily scores on the relay. And a bad throw back to Marshall allows Hanna to move up to third, and the Blueclaws extend their lead 7-5. 2 outs now, man on third. Ellis still standing at the plate, trying to add to the Blueclaws' lead. Ball up, just misses the top of the zone to Ellis. Stands in there tall. Probably 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". Left-handed hitting. Tyler Ellis. Fastball in the outer half, and Ellis swings through it for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Ellis. Anderson throws a fastball, and Ellis goes the other way with it, and it's going to hit it over the left field wall for a 2-run home run that will extend the Blueclaws' lead to 9-5. And Anderson had been living out on the outer half against Ellis, and he swung through 2 of them. And so Ellis may have been leaning out, looking over the outside of the plate there, and he gets a fastball and finds a barrel and hits it over the left field wall here on the short porch in Jacksonville. Again, these 2 power-hitting teams on a short field going to put up big numbers despite having good pitchers on the mound. And after Ellis extends the lead to 9-5, the 4-hitter Grant Johnson steps in and hits the ball down the left field line for a base hit. Coach Stegbauer pulls Reese Brush off a shortstop. He's probably going to head down to the pen. And Ethan Futch is going to go out to right, and Dylan's going to come into play. Dylan Knight going to come into play shortstop as there's more action in the Roos pen. That'll bring on Chris Rial, the pitcher for the Blueclaws, as he stands in with a guy on first base and 2 outs. The Blueclaws looking to extend their 9-5 lead. Fastball down and in. 2-0 count to Chris Rial. Fastball from Anderson looked like it had the plate, but the umpire calls the ball. Must have just missed the outside corner. 3-0 count to Chris Rial. And he's looking for a fastball that he can drive right here. And he gets it right down the middle, just a little bit late on it, and fouls it off to the right side. So a 3-0 green light for Chris Rial, and he just missed a fastball from Wilson Anderson. Grant Johnson leads off first. Curveball in the dirt. Brady Marshall goes out to try to block another one. Skips away from him, but it was ball 4. Blueclaws will courtesy run for Chris Rial at first. And it looks like one of their substitutions, number 24, Smith, is the courtesy runner at first. J.J. Madison steps to the plate, the 6-hitter for the Blueclaws, second baseman. Fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. So Wilson Anderson able to come in relief yesterday and get the Roos out of a jam. Not so lucky today as he comes in relief of Landon Serrano and unable to stop the bleeding as the Blueclaws lead 9-5. They've put up 6 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. and looking to do more damage with first and second and 2 outs. J.J. Madison takes the ball in the dirt. Evens the count 1-1. We'll see if Jimbo Hanna gets the runners going here with a 1-1 count. Runners stay put. Fastball catches the top of the zone for strike 2. 1-2 count to J.J. Madison. And a changeup from Willie Anderson gets Madison swinging for strike 3. And the Roos finally get out of the inning, but not before the Blueclaws put up 6 to take a 9-5 lead after 4 innings. Plenty of offensive firepower for the Roos to get back in this game, and they'll look to do so in the top of the 5th when we come back. You're watching Route 2 Baseball on YouTube. And we return back to action here in Jacksonville as the FCA Blueclaws lead the Kangaroo Court Roos 9-5 in the championship game of this perfect game tournament. Owen Lever will step into the plate, with Chris Real headed out for his 5th inning of work for the FCA Blueclaws. Lever takes a curveball for strike 1. 1-1 on the day with a big two-run home run blast to left field, just inside the foul pole. And Real starts him off here with 2 curveballs, trying to keep the ball in the yard. Multiple home runs today combined for both teams. Short porch, 200-foot field. And Real with a fastball, misses down and away. Good velo on the fastball from Real here in the 5th inning. And Real delivers his 74th pitch of the game, and it's a ball down. 5 runs, 3 of which are earned so far for Real in 4 innings of work. 6 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. 74 pitches here in the top of the 5th. Another fastball misses away to Lever, and he'll jog on down to first with a leadoff walk for the Roos. 200-foot fields and 2 teams with lots of offensive firepower. This game is not over by any means. And with Owen Lever at first on a 4-pitch walk, Mateo Dalmau will head to the plate for the Roos. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. And he hits the ball sharply to second base. Could be 2. Nice play by the second baseman over to Hanna. And a relay over to first for the double play. So Mateo Dalmau grounds into a double play on the first pitch of the at-bat. And while the Roos thought they may have had something cooking here in the 5th, they find themselves quickly with 2 outs. Brady Marshall stepping to the plate. 2 outs. Marshall's 1 for 1 on the day with a base hit. Gets a fastball from Real. It misses down and in. Good firm fastball here from Real. Doesn't seem to have lost any velo here in the 5th as he approaches 80 pitches. Another pitch down for ball 2. And Marshall's ahead in the count 2-0. 2 outs here in the 5th. Brady Marshall stays off a fastball. It's up and away. And he's 3-0. Trailing 9-5. We'll see if he gets the green light here from Coach Stegbauer. And not even close. Ball hits the plate. And Marshall's aboard with a 2-out walk. And that'll bring on Coach Jimbo Hanna. It looks like he's going to come out and get Chris Real. After another electric outing from Chris Real, he'll come out with 79 pitches, 4.2 innings pitched, 5 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 Ks, and he scattered 6 hits. But that'll do it for Chris Real, as the FCA Blueclaws are going to go to the bullpen. And here early in the spring, after a return from COVID-19, it's good to see Jimbo Hanna going to get his pitcher at 80 pitches. Not going to extend him too much further past that early in the season. You could say we're into the summer, but with that COVID-19 break, stoppage, a lot of these kids weren't able to do a whole lot for 2 months. So I'd like to see the coaches out here taking care of the kids' arms. As Chris Real, strong outing for FCA Blueclaws. We'll leave the game with a 9-5 lead. And a runner at first with 2 outs here in the 5th. And Jimbo Hanna for the FCA Blueclaws is going to go to number 7. And it looks like it's Hanson. Let's see if I can get a first name for you. Hanson takes his warm-up pitches. I'm going to go see if I can get his first name for you, folks. Number 7 will come on for the FCA Blueclaws here in the top of the 5th inning with a runner on first and 2 outs. Ricky Stegbauer steps to the plate. And Hanson delivers a fastball, misses down and in. To Stegbauer ahead, 1-0. Stegbauer certainly has the power to hit the ball out of the park on this field. Takes a fastball way out of the zone into the right-hander batter's box, 2-0. Hanson has decent velo on the fastball. Not as much downhill angle as Chris Real, who's a bit taller. And Stegbauer swings and hits it to deep right center, or deep right. It's going to one-hop the fence. And Dalmau, who's running for Marshall, is going to head all the way to third, and Ricky Stegbauer is into second with a stand-up double on a one-hopper down the right field line to keep the Roos alive here in the 5th. So 2 runners in scoring position now with 2 outs for the Roos, and we'll turn the lineup back over to the top and Reese Brush. Reese Brush is 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a strikeout. And he looks to keep it alive here for the Roos. And so Hanson fakes a pickoff over to third and doesn't throw it. And with no one at first base, he has to throw that ball and doesn't throw it, so that'll go down as a balk. Mateo Dalmau will come to score. He was a courtesy runner for the catcher, Brady Marshall, so he'll come in to score. And Ricky Stegbauer will head over to third. And Jimbo Hanna is going to come out and talk to his guys as the score is now 9-6. Just telling them to focus, keep their composure, I'm sure. As Reese Brush will stand in with Ricky Stegbauer at third base, trailing 9-6 here in the top of the 5th. Brush, another guy with the power to hit the ball out of the park here. Chases a curveball that breaks down out of the zone for a strike. Oh, 0-1 to Reese Brush. Another curveball from Hanson. Misses on the inner part. 1-1 count to Reese Brush. David Hansen in relief of Chris Real for the FCA Blueclaws. Another curveball drops into the zone for strike 2. Good curveball there from Hansen. 1-2 count to Reese Brush. Another curveball, and Reese Brush swings through it. Foul tips it. But Rogers, the catcher for the FCA Blueclaws, is able to squeeze it for out number 3. The Roos tack on a run, but still trail 9-6 to the Blueclaws after 4.5. Just waiting to see who comes back out to the mound here for the Roos before we take our break. And it's going to be Reese Brush in relief of Wilson Anderson. So Reese is going to come on to pitch, and we'll let him get his warm-ups. And we'll be back in just a few. You're watching RooTube on YouTube. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th here. Jacksonville, FCA Blueclaws leading 9-6. Reese Brush on to pitch for the Roos. Brady Marshall still behind the plate. Owen Lever at first. Danilo Soto at second. Wilson Anderson at short. And the first pitch from Brush is a fastball up in the zone. And that ball is going to make it out of here. A 202-foot wind-blown home run from the FCA Blueclaws, and Ricky Stegbauer did the best he could to try to go get that, and it just made it over his glove out there in center field. And that ball's an out on most of the fields that we've played on this weekend, but a little bit shorter porch here in Jacksonville for the championship game, and that ball made it over the wall to give the Blueclaws a 10-6 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. So Nick Bowden with a home run to extend the Blueclaws lead. And the catcher, Hunter Rogers, will step in, number 27. Rogers takes a pitch up for a ball. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's got a home run himself, 2 RBIs. And Brush bounces one, gloved by Marshall, keeping it off the umpire. 2 balls, 1 strike, I believe, maybe 2-0. And a fastball up for ball 3. Hunter Rogers, catcher for the Blueclaws. Reese Brush spikes another fastball. Gloved by Marshall, but it's ball 4 to Rogers. That'll bring on John Harvey, the right fielder for the Blueclaws. Blueclaws will, again, courtesy run for their catcher with number 24, Smith, now in running at first. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Reese Brush on in relief of Wilson Anderson. Landon Serrano started the game. Fastball from Brush. Umpire says it's down. Just misses the bottom of the zone for a ball. Ball 1 to John Harvey. Fastball in. Harvey gets out of the way. And Brush struggling with command a bit here today. 2-0 to Harvey. Fastball down the middle from Brush for strike. And I've coached in a bunch of these 12U games on 200-foot fields, and you never know what the score is going to end up. It's usually high scoring no matter who's on the mound. I've been in some of these 19-12 battles, and ball's jumping out of the yard. Here's a ground ball over to Wilson Anderson. He'll step on second and complete the throw to first for a double play. So Brush a little help with the ground ball double play there to Anderson. And the Blueclaws will turn the lineup over to the top of the order here for Josh Murray. Murray's gone deep in this game. He's 1 for 2, 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. And a big swing and a line drive to left. And it stays just inside the foul pole, and the umpire calls a home run. And much like we saw Dylan Knight's home run, that ball left here in a hurry. Line drive that just made it over the fence by a few feet. But again, the Roos becoming victim of the short porch here in Jacksonville, a 200-foot field for 12-year-olds. Perhaps a little taste of what would have been in Cooperstown for both these teams. As a bunch of balls jumping out of the yard. Slight breeze blowing out. Guys on the mound throwing with good velo, and you barrel it up with a DeMarini and the ball leaves in a hurry. That'll bring on Trip Hanna, the shortstop, for the Blueclaws. And he tries to check his swing on a curveball and unable to do that for strike 1. Hanna, the long dreadlocked hair coming out of the back of the helmet. Had that for a while. He swings at a fastball up out of the zone and grounds it to Anderson. Anderson, a nice play, flips it over to first. And the Roos are out of the inning, but not before the Blueclaws can tack on 2 more runs and extend their lead to 11-6 through 5 innings here in Jacksonville. The Roos with one last chance at the top of the 6th. And we'll be right back. You're watching RooTube on YouTube. Back here in Jacksonville, the Kangaroo Court Roos trailing 11-6 to the Blueclaws in the championship game of this perfect game tournament, with one last chance to get back in it here in the top of the 6th. Ethan Futch will lead off for the Roos. Takes a curveball at the top of the zone for a strike. Futch 1 for 2 on the day with a run scored. 7 home runs in the game, 2 by the Roos, 5 by the Blueclaws. And Futch hits one to deep left. And it stays inside the foul pole for a home run, and that'll be the 8th home run of the game here on this short porch 200-foot field between two Majors 12U teams, and Ethan Futch cuts the lead to 11-7. So the Roos within 4 here in the top of the 6th. Middle of the order, 3-hitter. Wilson Anderson steps to the plate. 11-6. And a fastball that's well hit to right center field, and that ball is going to make it over the wall. So 2 pitches, 2 swings from the Roos. And back-to-back home runs by the Roos. And it's a 3-run game. Wilson Anderson with a right center field line drive home run. Makes it 11-8. And the home runs continue. And that'll bring on the 4-hitter for the Roos, Dylan Knight, who certainly has the power to take the ball out of here. David Hansen still on the mound for the Blueclaws. Was able to get out of a jam when he came in. But he's thrown 3 pitches here in the top of the 6th, and 2 of them have left the yard. Curveball to Knight, first pitch, fouls it off towards the third baseman, towards the third base dugout for a foul ball. 0-1 to Dylan Knight. Knight's 1 for 2 on the day with 2 RBIs. He's got a home run, hits a ground ball, past the third baseman inside the bag, down the line. He's going to round first hard, and he's going to head to second. And he's going to slide into second with a double. And the Roos keeping it going here in the top of the 6th with no outs and a man on second, trailing by 3.
Keep hitting, Nate. Let's go, kid.
And that'll bring on Nate Roldan. Roldan's 1 for 2 on the day. And another guy who certainly has the power to hit the ball out of the yard here on this short porch in Jacksonville. David Hansen comes set, takes a look at Knight, delivers a fastball that misses way out of the zone high to Nate Roldan. And a pair of home runs and a double by the Roos. And there's a lot more excitement in the Roos dugout trying to get back in this game. And there's another ball hit sharply towards first. Tyler Ellis able to get a glove on it, pick it up, and get Nate Roldan at first for the first out of the 6th. Dylan Knight moves over on the ball hit to the right side. But at this point, the Roos not looking to trade moving base runners for outs. They're looking to add to the scoreboard to get back in this game, losing 11-8. Hansen starts Soto with a curveball, 1-0. Danilo Soto comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And another curveball from Hansen. Catches the top of the zone for strike 1. And 1 ball, 1 strike to Danilo Soto. Danny has good pop in that bat. Another off-speed pitch. Down. Blocked by Hunter Rogers to keep Dylan Knight at third base. Soto gets a fastball and he takes a look at it for strike 2. And he's wishing he was ready for that one. 2-2 count to Danilo Soto, top of the 6th. Curveball again from David Hansen. Another curveball from David Hansen. He's gone to that curveball quite a bit against these Roos hitters, trying to keep the ball in the yard. Soto fouls it off and stays alive at 2-2. And a fastball from Hansen is hit weakly towards the third baseline. Hansen's over to get it. And Soto, who doesn't run real well, is out by a step at first for the second out. Dylan Knight's able to come home and score and make it 11-9. But unfortunately, the Roos traded that run for an out, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, and that'll bring on Landon Serrano. 11-9 Blueclaws, top of the 6th, 2 outs. David Hansen on the mound to face Landon Serrano. Serrano swings at a first pitch curveball, chops it over towards third. Third baseman has it. Makes the throw to first, and that'll do it. Here in Jacksonville as the FCA Blueclaws win the slugfest between the Blueclaws and the Kangaroo Court Roos and are able to edge the red-hot Kangaroo Court Roos 11-9 in the championship game. Both teams cruising to the championship and move to Jacksonville for the championship game on a small field, and we see a ton of home runs and an 11-9 win by the Blueclaws. Landon Serrano will suffer the loss for the Roos. He pitched 3.2 innings, allowed 7 runs, all of which were earned on 6 hits, struck out 4 and walked 1. Offensive highlights for the Roos: Ethan Futch, Dylan